What is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. It is Friday. Happy Friday, January 4th, 2019. Thanks for being here. Let's talk today about good days versus bad days. Just kind of a take on what constitutes a good day and what constitutes a bad day and why we have them and how we can actually look at them differently. So when I think of a good day, I think of a day that doesn't have a lot of issues. Things are pretty easy. Things just work out. They have a way of working out. There's really just no resistance. There's kind of an ease and a flow to it versus a bad day where there is some resistance. Problems happen, maybe miscommunications, arguments, things like that, things that just make us frustrated. And a lot of times we say, man, it seems like nothing can go my way today, meaning a bad day to me constitutes actually when you're expecting a certain outcome, you're wanting to control the way that an outcome happens, you're wanting to control the way that you feel, and because it's not going in the way that you drew it up in your head, especially the way that your ego wants it to happen, because there isn't actually a divine order to the stuff that happens to you. You sit there and you go, why is this happening to me? I thought I was going to have a good day and just none of this shit worked out. So I would say with a good day, it's really important to obviously enjoy it. I mean, that goes without saying. Enjoy it. Don't be somebody who gets stuck in this mindset of, oh, when is this going to take a turn for the worse? Some people are very pessimistic. When's the other shoe going to drop? Things are going too well. And a good day too can mean that you feel good, you feel motivated. So take advantage of that energy, take advantage of that motivation and put it towards something that is a goal that's really in alignment for you. And don't just waste that feel good energy on doing frivolous things that that you'll wish that you had used your time more productively on, because you might find yourself in a situation later on where you have a bad day where nothing is working out, and maybe you're on a deadline for something, and damn, you really wish maybe you had taken advantage. It's kind of a form of procrastination in a way, that you had taken advantage of that direct motion energy of that day to get something done, and now your back's up against the wall and nothing's working out, and it's just really frustrating. And on the flip side, sometimes procrastination is not a bad thing, because if you're having there's some days that come along where shit's not working out. It's okay to take it easy, take it easy on yourself. It doesn't mean quit and sit in front of the TV, Netflix time, but it can really just mean understanding that there's going to be some days where shit's just not working out, and that's the time where you really have to kind of surrender to the outcome of things and just stay in alignment, keep making good decisions that are in alignment with what is true to your heart, and just keep moving forward on these things. And do not judge the outcomes, do not judge yourself, just take it easy. What I'm essentially talking about here is what I would call the freedom passages, where it seems like there are times when the universe aligns very well for things that you want to make happen, and other times it's not there for the way that you want to make it happen. So just like we talk about in football, there's a saying really in any sport, take what the defense gives you. Don't try to force your game plan. If the defense has got the perfect defense to what you're trying to do, find another way to score. And that's what we're talking about, is there are going to be these days where you just kind of have to take what the day is coming to you, and sometimes that could mean unplugging for a little bit and realizing that work's not going to get done, and that you're frustrated and you're burnt out, and you need to just take it easy and spend some time with some loved ones, spend some extra time with them. So it could be too that when it seems like when things can get really out of hand, as if we felt like we were on the right path, things were moving forward, and then all of a sudden we kind of hit a stalemate and things are feeling like really uncertain. We're like, why is this happening? I don't understand why I'm having such a bad day. And I would kind of call this almost like a mashup of energy where, you know, there are good things coming, but you're just meeting some really weird resistance where things are kind of like getting scrambled up a little bit. And, you know, maybe something happens where you take a hit and it's kind of like a why me moment, but it's actually to shift your trajectory or shift your mindset or to even learn a lesson. So knowing that there's like kind of a behind the scenes thing going on too, like when you're having these bad days, it could be just, you know, learning a lesson. It could be just this mashup of energy. So, you know, just trust that you're on the right path, be patient, continue to make those aligned decisions. Even if it doesn't feel good, you know, the biggest mistake I see that I've made, you know, that I've been growing out of this past year, and that I think we as Americans make in general, is that we're supposed to feel good all the time. That things are always supposed to feel good. So, you know, it kind of explains to me why we have so many opportunities more now as a culture than we ever have, with the rise of technology at our fingertips, to be able to reach so many people in so many different ways and just new ways of inventing. But the problem is that like we're so comforted by the amenities that we have that we think that we're always supposed to feel comfortable and feel good, and that is not the fucking case. Like ask your grandparents about that, you know, ask your ancestors. Like this older generation that talks about, you know, the new generation going to hell in a handbasket. Like, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but they kind of have a point. You cannot feel good all the time. It's the biggest lie ever. So every time that something doesn't feel good doesn't mean that you can veer off track and go do something that's going to result in a breakdown of integrity that's not in alignment with your goal. Okay, and it also doesn't mean, if you are somebody who is really committed to achievement, it doesn't mean, oh man, I got to change this up, I got to do this, I got to do that, you know, why is this not working? Weather the storm, get through the bad day, get through the bad week. It could be a bad month. It could even, you could even look back and say, man, that was kind of a rough year, but hey, you probably learned some, you know, awesome lessons out of it. So just keep following through, you know, and if you stay in this, when things get tough, when you're having the bad days, if you stay in a peaceful state and you just surrender that there is going to be information coming, there is going to be the perfect answer coming, that's coming in your highest good. Okay, sometimes that answer could take a while to show up. It could take a while to manifest as whatever lesson it was. You know, it could show up as why the energy is mashing around and why things are changing the trajectory. I know it's complicated because we want great things, we want awesome things, we want to feel good, but at the end of the day, it's really important to realize that what the universe is really about is contrast. Okay, just like the sun comes up, then it sets, and then the moon comes up and sets. Men, women, black, white, like all of it, there's always going to be contrast. So there's always going to be the more benevolent good days, and there's always going to be the harsher, more malefic, what we call bad days. But there's a reason for that. Okay, there's a reason we have good days, there's a reason we have bad days. So with that said, hope you guys appreciated this Friday night edition of Eric Rosen Spews Words. And I will catch you guys probably Sunday. I think I'm planning on taking the day off tomorrow. All right, you guys take care.